Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
Into the Rumble 369, flashes and dies for the first kill of this series.
Goes down and doesn't get anything there. Hope on this top side now gets a free wave to try to cash in. Flandra can TP down to that bot side, catch the wave that will be pushed in by Jackie and Crisp, and it looks like he's even going to try to walk it out as well. Gets about halfway out the base and decides, no, I've got a TP for this. Means that he doesn't miss out on anything. And Jackie Love and Crisp, we'll see what they do. 369 walks out to
the untargetable, but the shield bails out Kanavi, sneaks away with a sliver of help, but no! Tarzan gets the kill through the pack?
He still bleeds out, still goes down, and that's a massive commitment from Top Esports to put so many people into this mid lane. The entire time we get to see that there's a lot of free farming going on, and Hope able to catch out on a few minions down on that bot side. I think overall, 1-for-1, they can probably both be quite happy about that. Again, lots of commitment, lots of ultis used on either side, but another one of these two teams particularly getting that advantage is what we've come to expect from when these two teams go head-to-head with one another. It's not happen. For Top Esports, their scaling lies in Jackie Love reaching the hyper late game, but then trying to cut through an orb, not necessarily going to be incredibly easy. To round that out, Kanavi did just take all three grubs relatively uncontested.
That's got to feel good for Top Esports, knowing that they have control of the grubs from a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, I think this is what Top Esports would be looking for, right? Like, their composition is just slightly better at this stage in the game, so expecting them to be able to play the game a little bit slower and maybe start amping up with those grubs in their back pocket. And this is where they've been really, really good. It's just finding small advantages on the map where there's nothing else for the enemy team to try to do, but they aren't able to take...
And Kyle have a lot less angles to get out, and Kanavi is sniffing for a kill. Kyle gets found out. Hope has to flash away from Chris, but here comes the curtain call. You don't need the damage. You just need the slows. Double stun from Chris. 4 shots sinks through, but Kanavi's completely burned through. Tarzan finds the first kill. He's got all the pack with him, but he can't get onto Chris until he jumps back forward, finds himself another reset. Tarzan is certainly going to make it costly for him to drop, but TES play the map well enough and open up the map in their favor.
Yeah, Shanks is alone on this top side the whole time. He takes down top tier 2 in response, and he actually teleports into this mid lane to keep that alive as well. So the Azir, this scaling factor that we talked about for AL, got a lot of gold off the back of that, but it came at the cost of a lot of his team there. Many members end up falling. That's the 3-4 kills that Top Esports managed to find themselves, which were largely traded back. And we're looking at the gold. It's pretty favored for anyone's legend at this stage. This is the top side of the fight. Remember, bot side is where we saw Flandra go down. And a little bit of a split focus on who they're actually going to try to get for.
What do AL look like in those fights with Shanks alongside them?
He's almost finished that Liandry's as well, so he's so close to being strong, and you can see denying these creeps, denying this experience as well. He's doing everything he can to choke out the side lanes for the Forge God.
Flandra trying to team up with Tarzan. Here comes the equalizer down. 369 on the flank. Curtain call. So much damage getting compacted as they try to find Tarzan. Kyle takes the last 4 shot, and boy, was that a great sacrifice because 369's the trade. Now Hope steps up, but Cream's already half HP. These arrows are about to start hurting if they land. But Tarzan's trying to slip out. Look who's on the hunt. It's Jackie Love flashing after him. Smells blood in the water, and he sinks it home with a crit shot. That's the difference you get from Jackie Love.
He just flashes over the wall, headshots Tarzan, sends him back to the grey screen. The whole time, though, once again, look at who's in the side lane. It's Shanks, farming up, making sure that he will be strong. And that question you ask, Slayer, we still don't have an answer, but what do AL look like when Shanks turns up to these fights? If this is a mammoth farming effort from Shanks for him to do nothing in these team fights, then trust me, anyone's legend, they're going to be fuming about it. But if he can turn up to these team fights and start manifesting great successes, absolutely, this is their time to shine. With the dragon spawned as well, AL, this is their window. Use Shanks to try and make his way into that dragon fight. He's got teleports, so he can stay on this top wave for the time being. We'd like to see him down there, like to see him contributing. 2 items plus that stasis available. A very strong Azir.
It's such a big spot for a guy that We
immediately started Tarzan and Hope, the two doing this. Shanks, you can see just up on his top side. Here comes the ulti.
Yep, first fight with Shanks. How does this look? He tries to fly in with the Emperor's Divide, but
Kanavi's
immediately just
gone.
pops Kanavi's health bars, and now they're completely scattered. There's Jacula fighting the big shot onto Kael. Otacon resets. AL are way too hurt to try and continue to push this fight, as juggling Otacon aggro might have burned them.
Very split fight on both sides. Flandre and Kael pay for the sins of their three-man core, looking to take down Kanavi there. Kael ends up going down, and it's Flandre who has to flash out to safety as well. Flandre does a very good job at sitting, absorbing damage in that front line, and getting out to safety. Obviously not the same to be said for Kael, who once again, just, you can see him here, charging in aggressively, looking for Kanavi. He's ice. Yeah, and then importantly, right, if they get the soul, it's then Elder that spawns, and you know we can talk about the
-1
game-ending power of a Cloud Soul all we like, but the game-ending power of an Elder Dragon is much, much higher. Now 3 items on the Azir, 3 items on the Varus. AL happy to start putting a little bit more emphasis on this game. Start up that Atacon, force Top Esports to walk in, trying to find that fight.
Trying to get flank angles by funneling TS further in towards Opticon. They're trying to flank over top. Kael is sniffing for it, but it hasn't manifested just yet as Chris tries to set up his own flank. Right now, Flandre's the only one to bite Opticon. But about low 10k HP, but by focusing this, TS have allowed AL to try and entrap them, try to circle them out. It's Kael that you have to watch on to try and start this fight. Solar Flare, Zenith Blade forward, or is it the Oran Horn from Flandre? Finally, the floodgates may open as TS are backed off the Otacon. A 50-50 may be coming in, but there goes Kael, secured by Tarzan. They get the Otacon. Shanks stasis is the crash down from Chris. Can Shanks get back out to safety? No, Kanavi's following after him. How much value does Shanks get? Absolutely nothing. 369 though, does not survive Tarzan's rampage, but anyone's legend just cannot fight without Shanks. TES's target selection reigns supreme.
And Shanks has farmed for 28 minutes to go golden and die in the pivotal team fight. Yes, Tarzan steals away the Atacon, but Top Esports get to take the fight itself. Jackie and Kanavi are going to walk towards the Baron. Cream will take a pit stop at the tier 1 turret, and all of that hard work, all of the gold that Shanks had funneled into him, comes home for nothing.
While a Jin Baron take is slow, there's no one to stop him as we go back through this replay, and you got to watch all the little intricacies that happen in this one.
Yeah, so to start off with, it's good for AL because Flandre's holding Cream and Crisp at bay. It's a 4 versus 3 inside the pit, but then Crisp just decides, hold on, why am I hitting the Orn? Starts to come alive, goes for the backline, and that's... Now, to his credit, he's 2,000 gold up over his counterpart. Same to be said down on that bot side as well. Jackie hasn't died yet this game. He's up 1k.
Yeah, the Sand Soldiers. Look at the Emperor's Divide. Throws on to Kanavi. He gets out, and Tarzan is sold out by Jackie, barely able to survive. Kanavi uses the GA to buy more time for Cream, who nearly eviscerates Kael. But Shanks flies in with the army behind him. Jackie can't step up to try and decide this fight. AL bide their time and grit out a gnarly fight win.
So they can all now go back to base, teleport back out onto the map. Jackie and Crisp cannot take this objective in time. And the teleport comes through. Shanks leading the charge for AL. It was Crisp with a rare whiff there on the railing gate, and they might look for him now.
Shanks! No! He goes into stasis, gets away from the deadly flourish. Jackie about half HP, but Shanks flies in. Can the crit shot come? No! The bell has not been rung, and Shanks is going to cash in a double that sets up Cloud Soul for anyone's legends.
AL reap what they sow. They gave the gold to Shanks, and finally he comes home to harvest. The bot lane of Top Esports have no chance of fighting him, and they just barely can't make it work. Anyone's legend. They find the soul now, and they can move into the rest of this game, knowing that all that time, all that effort that they put into Shanks will pay off.
Let's go back through this fight, because I know your eyes really capturing Tarzan on the bot side of this thing, but there was so much going on once more.
Yeah, Top Esports here, the equalizer would have to be used. I think that Shanks may have just secured them. Maybe not the game in this instance. Maybe it is just the Baron, and I'm getting too far ahead of myself. But the 5v2 on the map. AL get the Baron. Tarzan finding one half. Shanks finds the other. This game
starting to hurt them again. They've been known to throw gold leads Kanavi's been able to bail them out of some of the bigger games, but this is anyone's Legends we're talking about. They're just a different level, potentially one that could get 10 with TES as we continue to talk about the future of this LPL split. For now, though, they knock down middle inhibitor. They get a top inhib turret down as well. They're going to recall and try and spend more of their gold and set up for what could be a game-winning fight coming soon.
And let that sink in, everybody. 36 minutes into game number 1. We're not really any closer to knowing. It feels like anyone's Legend are in the best position. And loses a third of his HP, has to go back to base. With the wave finally coming in.
Oh, Jackie Love gets hit with the solar flare. That's cleanse out of Jackie Love, so a little less space for this Jhin.
That's 2 ultis down.
They'll have to be careful. They've lost some of their key engage ultimates. Maybe don't want to overpush. This is exactly what TS want to do in their wheelhouse, but again, Hope hits another huge arrow. Jackie Love is down to about half HP. Now triple inhibitors down. TS know this might be their last stand. They're on their last legs. Curtain call, though, not getting enough slows to open up an angle for Chris, so AL are able to creep back out, and they don't have to overpush. They're going to have double supers coming through. Or no, excuse me, top inhibitor
still haven't taken top inhibitor yet. We're waiting for that Drake, the Elder Dragon, in 15 seconds. Those crucial ultimates that we talked about for Flandre, for Kael. They're
going after Kanavi. He gets knocked up. Kael finds that pick. The GA is only going to bide him some mere seconds as he watches his fate be sealed. The cease and desist is a marginal play. Kanavi falls. AL will turn back towards the Elder. But they might be able to just take this thing mid lane and win the whole game.
With 45 seconds on Kanavi, what is the choice? What do AL opt into? Nobody's recalling.
We're
walking down mid lane. It's the final charge.
They got the Cloud Soul. They got Kyle coming back up. And right now they have a 3v5. 369 is going to be back and available. You've got the ults for both Hope and Kyle up in mere seconds. This is where you have to go for the throat against the defending champs, against the team that ruined your amazing split. There's only one way through to try and fight, but Cream's already at about half HP. Shanks is getting a ton of damage through. Kyle goes in, and Equalizer does nothing. Shanks' damage is just ludicrous, and AL bring the boom and knock TES down in this series with Elder to sing it home. It was topsy-turvy, but anyone's Legends were up for the task, and they are going to repeat the last series, go up 1-0 over Top Esports.
And there's a reason that these two are the top 2 in the LPL. AL go blow for blow. They go pound for pound with Top Esports and then go one step further. For the entire first 25-30 minutes, this game could not be separated. Both of these two teams giving us everything that they had. And finally, anyone's Legend, they find a fight, they find a soul, and then they go one step further. They find 369, who is pushed far too far forward. You're right, like this Yorick in a side lane might be able to do good work. So I think that's their best avenue for success. The Corki, as far as his damage goes, yes, very high output.
For the Grubs. Though it does have much bigger ramifications knowing you're the Yorick comp. That's definitely telling something.
They're looking for a fight here. Remember, this is going to be Grand Starfall for Tarzan.
Yeah, but look at Kyle. He's just so persistent. Jackie Love flashes. That's a perilous bullet time trying to save his own skin. And what do they get off the back of that as well? They grab the Grub as Shanks goes toe-to-toe with Cream here. Much more healthier, trying to use the shield to buy himself time. He doesn't care about the Arcane Storm. He doesn't care about the rename at all. All he cares about, another win for the AL support.
Yeah, massive win, honestly. Kind of out of nowhere, but now they might be caught out on the top side.
Remember, Hope doesn't have any flash. Kyle does have the Unbreakable Will. He's going to pop it. Gets a bunch of big knockups. He's surviving and really just thriving right now into Chris 369 and Kanavi. In comes Tarzan. The Glacial Prison on the backside of Kyle will trade him. But that's support for top laner. And look at Hope, who just gets the free hit this entire fight home. All the space brought by Kyle. Cash's feats of warfare for anyone's Legends.
And perfect from the observers here, panning straight down to that back to bed. It starts with Kyle blocking the hook here by headbutting into it. Unbreakable Will into a triple knockup, sets back up for return damage, and Kyle never falters. He's always walking forward here, knowing that Grand Starfall's coming through.
Look at the pick that Kyle's found live. He picks off 369 without a flash. The live feed doesn't do that justice. It's Kyle again, the difference maker right now in this game.
And Tarzan as well, just to call out on that top side fight. He flashes away from the Glacial Prison.
First brick, feats of strength, all coming through Flandra.
This is a completely different look for the Yorick compared to the one that we saw in game number 2 in the last series, where, yes, he was finding time to have a short run at things in a side lane, but he's finding plates in this series, finding a little bit more gold, and now Kael once again.
He takes the turret aggro a bit early before the minions, but Unbreakable Will getting a ton of value, and he just layers the stun so well. Kael is running the defending champs of the LPL right now.
And Jackie Love again has flash, has barrier there, but the second he gets hit by that knock-up, I don't think he was expecting it to be so easy for anyone's legend to take him down.
Kanavi, this is a 50-50. He just gift wrapped the Drake and then jumps into Flandra. Shanks is here. AL are playing like they're 6v5 on the map right now, and they are just bodying the 10-1 top esports.
And this is how AL did this back in Demacia Cup, back in Split 1. They just move faster around the map. They just have, it seems to be more
Oh my
people.
God. Tarzan, you mad lad. All that just to cancel a 369 back. If that doesn't exude confidence, I don't know what else does.
I'd like to say I think he was trying to kill the Jace there, but between Phase Rush and...
Mental warfare, rude dude.
No, okay, sorry, I forgot mental warfare. You're right. But even still, I mean, getting the cancel on the recall, getting the dragon as well, getting that kill off the back end of it. Normally you'll see a dragon and a herald traded, a dragon and a grubs traded, but AL, they sacrificed, is it 2 grubs total that they've sacrificed so far this game? And outside of that, nothing else.
Here we go, though. Kael, star of the show so far, grabbing the attention of 3, make it 4. And he is definitely caught. Also, a teleport coming through from Shanks. Bit late. Do they want to try and contest this Herald take?
Probably not, is my overarching theory here, as we can maybe see Tarzan super cone in.
Doesn't really have a lot of ways out. He has the flash. Just going to give the Herald. Hope's got to be careful stepping up this far as well. The numbers are definitely to the side of TES, but maybe the shockwave damage alongside the Pantheon is enough to get Chris. The Glacial Prison does not stop the Q forward. The spear is too sharp and too plentiful. Tarzan gets one back, and now with the tempo, he's just going to force Kanavi out of his own jungle. Shanks is there with the shields. They know 369 can't come to help, so they're going to dial the pressure up even further.
It probably just means here that we're just going to see turrets taken, jungle taken, and Jackie Love forced to flash.
Oh my lord. Trades flashes with Jackie Love.
He might die though, look at 369.
Yeah, flashes forward 369 with that killer instinct, going to punish Hope for trying to take down Jackie Love. All that just to protect a mid-tier 1 turret.
Yeah, and it feels bad for Hope there because he probably could have made that play if Jackie Love didn't have.
And for AL, you got to be careful with every single misstep. This is still top esports. They have that championship pedigree. They've made dramatic comebacks. They've seen it all at this point, and they know how to play from behind. But I don't know if 369 knows how to play into the Maiden and this Yorick. Tarzan flies in to secure the kill, but I think that one was a 1v1.
Yeah, Flandra probably would have had that hands down, but it's good to see Tarzan getting involved as well. The power there of that baby cage, there's nothing that a Jace can do, right? Even in the hammer form, there's nothing to be done. If you have your cannon out, maybe you can start your W off and quickly rattle your way through the process of taking down that cage. But now again, free time plus demolish, like he's baiting here, just trying to bait them in. How much damage can he do? Tier 2 turret's gonna go down. Yorick doesn't play.
They're dropping like they're made of plywood right now, and this is a similar thing that AL were trying to do in Game 1, right, as we continue to revisit the Cream scaling conversation. Build time for him to be a monster. Kanavi, a little bit treacherous. See if he fights back into his own jungle. He's got the rest of his team coming back up. No, they're going to relax. But Rudu, back to that point, tying these mid laners in their separate games together.
Really well ratioed on the cannon minions, but it's going to be a tricky situation for the Victor to have the massive impact that we know that he can have, and now he's caught in the baby cage.
He's caught in the baby cage. Cream's put in timeout, gets a first stun, but the slows are starting to stack, and Flandra is hunting him down with the spade. How much space can Cream buy? Another slow comes across. He goes flash for flash, but the ghouls will follow you anywhere, Cream. Flandra solo bolo.
And now it's a question for top esports. Can they even look to fight this dragon? If they do, they did lose everything top.
They're going in for Kyle. They have the teleporter Shanks coming across here. Hope off to the side. Kyle flies in, gets a two-man knockup. It's onto Jackulov. Melee burns the barrier. Kanavi sectioned off, though. The bullet time is hitting nobody until the hook comes in and finds Shanks. Grand Starfall comes across. They're going to go all after Jackulov. Can Tarzan do enough burst damage? Yes, he can. Down falls Jackulov. Tarzan and Chris flashing out to safety, and 369 on the wrong side of the fight is trying to run for high heaven, just buying time. But fate will come for him soon. Hope on the hunt, get a Valkyrie over the wall. Can he get the rocket lined up? 369, how much space can he buy? He's getting a whole lot of work done here, but finally the auto sinks through and locks in another AL team fight win.
And Flandre the entire time is pushing away on that top side. He secured another tier 2 turret.
The commitment to their drafted comp is brilliant to watch right now. The push and pull, marvelous between the two.
Yeah, and they are doing exactly what they need to with getting that gold onto the Yorick. And now Shockwave again.
Oh, it's all onto
Goodbye.
Chris, though. So they commit the Shockwave onto Chris. They still have damage dealers like Cream and Jackulov trying to push out a ton of damage on the backside, but that bullet time gets 0 value. That is a dollar store bullet time from Jackulov, and 369 gets stunned up by Tarzan, who just reads them like a book. Jackulov has nowhere to go. Shanks and Hope are waiting on cooldowns. Jackulov flashing forward, trying to desperately make the difference, but just like TES, it falls flat.
5 versus 4 on the map, and anyone's legend come out on top. Flandre is playing PvE in the top lane. He does not care about what is happening with his team. He knows that they've got it signed, sealed, and delivered. The Drake will go on one time, and the Atacon will go on the other. And this game might as well just be chalked.
Oh, rude dude, I have one important question for you. How many extra Yorick games did we just buy in Group Ascend thanks to Flandre right now?
Yeah, it's going to be at least 5.
Okay,
because
5.
It looked mediocre in Group Nirvana. And honestly, I don't know that Flandre is the linchpin of this game and the reason that AL are doing so well, but he's definitely getting a slaughter from AL of mammoth proportions.
We've gone through 9 of those best of 3s already, and we're looking for teams to level up in the second round robin. And AL are showing that it might just be their time to shine. Kyle, I mean, this guy just ignores damage with ease. Tarzan flies in. Bullet time completely blocked by Tarzan, but the Shockwave doesn't find its mark on it, and he carries. It's Chris to die first. This time, Shanks and Cream are both a part of this fight. But look at Flandre. You were asking for him to finally join the bounce, and boy, did he make a statement just casually walking up with the main and eviscerating that fight. And now he's flashing after Cream. Flandre wants the brooms out. Flandre wants the sweep of your defending champions.
Anyone's legend are going to 2-0 top esports. Game 1, we said it was just a top thing. Game number 2 is AL dominating.
It is 25 minutes, and TES are battered. They're bruised, and they are done for. Today is not the name of just anyone's legends. It's these 5 legends as they topple the Titans.